A while ago, me and my Italian husband decided to move to Italy, so we packed up our things and we drove our way there. We are planning to start up a new life here, living closer to nature and learning how to work the land. All of that whilst enjoying the perks of living close to beautiful mountains. We start our journey in an old abandoned family house that was built in the early 60s. I invite you to follow us during this renovation and decoration works and see us turn this house into our new home. Hello everyone. Happy New Year and welcome back. In this episode, I will show you how we organized our living room. After removing the furniture that stood there for many years, we could start fixing all the problems that we found. In the last video, you can see in more detail how we fixed the walls and retreated the wooden floors. I wanted to try something out and have one colored wall. As a paint color, I played it safe and chose a sage green. I ended up really liking the color and the idea of putting colors on the walls. This made me decide to also put more color on the walls in other rooms. I've heard someone say that life is too short to live in a house with white walls, and that's really true for me. The colors bring so much character, and if in the worst case I eventually get tired of this, I can still repaint it. I kept the old skirting boards, cleaned them and reapplied them with acrylic sealant. And like this, we ended up with a beautiful clean space that we could start to decorate. For which I started with this closet that I saved from a bonfire a few years ago. I really liked the shape and I wanted to see if I could get rid of the green color and reveal the wood underneath. I have never done something like this before. I decided to first try and remove as much as possible with a heat gun. It's a tricky business. You have to try and find a perfect distance to hold the gun so that the heat can help the paint to come loose from the wood. But if you keep it too close or on the same spot for too long, you risk to burn the paint or the wood underneath. At the same time, I find it a really satisfying job to do. But that has more to do with that I always have an interest in peeling things off. I took off the hardware from the drawer and cleaned them with a chemical paint stripper. The remainder of the paint I removed with an electrical sander. The reason why I use this tool only after the heat gun is because the sandpaper gets clogged up with melted paint blobs very fast. If I would have used only the sander and not the heat gun, I would have had to go through a huge amount of sandpaper. All of this work took several days. In the beginning I was not sure if I would manage to get it done, but with a bit of persistence, I could see more and more how I could come to an end result that I would really enjoy. On the legs, I first tried to apply a chemical paint stripper, since their shape was too complicated to use the heat gun. But the stripper didn't take away a lot of paint, even though I used several generous coats, so I ended up sanding everything by hand. I ended this project with giving the closet a good coat of furniture oil to treat the exhausted wood. Maybe next summer I might drag this closet out again to give it a protective layer of varnish, but I'm not sure yet. This rug I inherited from my grandmother. I love its beautiful colors, its softness, and most of all, it makes me think of her. This little rack used to stand in our bathroom when I was a little girl. I later took it with me to my student room when I went to university, and now it followed me all the way to Italy. And also this coffee table has a story. In the beginning, when me and my husband went into our previous apartment, we didn't have much furniture. A certain day, we heard a loud ringing of a bicycle bell on the streets. When we looked outside of the window, we saw a good friend of ours on the sidewalk with this table in his cargo bike. He had found it somewhere and thought of us. My husband wanted me to wait with putting the sofa together until he was back from work to help, but I was too excited to wait. And here you can see the closet that used to be green. I left a little bit of green where you can only see it when you open a drawer. I like to let our furniture tell their stories. We found the mirror and the chair in this house. It's nice that they can witness a new generation of inhabitants. And then it was time to introduce another member of our household to our new home. She already claims the living room as her own, only enter by her approval. Some paintings made by my mom. And this is how we left our living room for a few months. But I had more plans. Drilling holes in this wall isn't easy. The outer layer is about 10 centimeters of cement with little stones in it. When the drill head encounters those stones, it will be redirected. Here you can see some of the little rascals. Come out. We had the shelves pre-cut at the shop. They just needed a bit of sanding. And I also gave them a little lick of some wood oil that we had laying around. When we are buying varnish for our kitchen cabinets, I will varnish these ones too, with the leftovers. So for now, I don't secure the shelves to the brackets. In Belgium, I have been collecting fern leaves from places like the communal garden from our apartment and my mom's garden. I dried them and now I will put them in a frame. Since I had this type of tape laying around that you can use to hang paintings, I used it. But I noticed though that when removing it from this wall, it takes away some of the paint. Although it didn't do that to some of my other walls. So if you want to follow my example, you've been warned. This embroidery piece has been made for me by one of my best friends. It's our little rabbit checking who is entering her living room. This room has known a lot of stages already, and I love the one that it is in now. Probably I think of some more project for it in the future, but then I'll just film it and post it here. And now I have a new favorite spot to sit when I work on my little projects. For the rest of the series, I'll have enough footage to post a renovation video about every other month. And in between, you'll see some of my other projects. Thank you for watching this video, and I wish you a lovely day.